The Denver Broncos are 8-2. They have the best record in the National Football League. They're in first place, but they just put down one of the ugliest wins in Broncos history. We got to figure out how the hell we're supposed to feel about that. We're going to do it in just a few seconds. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Winners Lounge. Play the funky music. Broncos are 8-2. What's everyone with? Why the long faces out here? DNVR Broncos post-game show. Wow. We have a lot to digest. We just watched. And I'm excited to do it on the DNVR Broncos post-game show presented by Bet365. Use the code DNVR over at Bet365. You can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. RK here with you alongside Super Bowl 50 champion Bennie Fowler. Hank's over in the Hank Tank, and Zach Stevens is at Mile High. We'll talk with him after he talks with the Broncos after this one. And so, now we have the job of figuring out what just happened. Bennie, what is going through your mind?
Well, there's a lot going through my mind right now. Number one, we went to the game, and we were there for the first, I would say, 3 quarters of the game, and we had to leave, not because we didn't want to stay, but because we had to come here.
Yes.
And I hosted about 20 people in a suite, and that is not what I was expecting. When my company bought the suite, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be incredible. We're going to host people. It's going to be fun. We're playing against the Raiders. Broncos are 7-2. They're going to score a lot of points. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think I had the Broncos scoring, 28 tonight, and they scored 10.
Yeah.
Very ugly win. Very ugly win. I am concerned about the offense. I'm concerned about Sean. But I guess I am always a glass half full type person. I mean, at least you got that incredible defense. And if this is the first time that you've watched the Broncos offense, it just shows you how good the defense is. Because the offense only scored 10 points tonight. You needed a blocked field goal to score. And the defense and what they did was incredible. They are wreaking havoc. Dondrea Tillman, should we move him to offense?
Yes.
I think we might need to move Dondrea Tillman to offense just based off the way that he carries the ball after interceptions. But
By the way, the Broncos got no points out of that.
But what I will say is that a win is a win, and having the best record in the National Football League, you can't. That's not a fluke. Like you sitting at 8-2 is we're not talking about 2-0. You know, after 10 games of the season, 8-2, having the number 1 seed right now is incredible to say. Or is incredible to have. So I don't know how to feel about this game. I don't know where to go. I have to actually look at the All-22 and see what is going on out there. But you have drop passes, you have missed throws, you have Bo throwing the ball not to the right spots. You have, Evan didn't come up with some plays. It was just a lot of bad on offense. And then, the play calling wasn't great. The third one to Cortland was a head scratcher. Why are you getting too cute right there? It was just a lot of things that are just very, very concerning for a team that does have the number 1 seed. When you think about a team that has the number 1 record or the best record in the NFL, you shouldn't feel like this after a win, especially 10 weeks through the season. You should not feel like this. So, very concerning.
Yeah, I think you just went through like the stream of consciousness of every Broncos fan right now. It's hard to be elated right now. And no one would try harder than me. I would love to sit here and be like, you guys are crazy. That it doesn't matter. None of this matters. But it does feel like you're playing with fire the way that you're playing football right now. Now, I always think of it as like, learn and a win, right? You keep buying yourself more opportunities to figure it out during the week. Yeah. Now you get a 10-day break to try and figure out what the hell is going wrong and get over this hump. So
I think the Broncos need to break really bad.
I think they do too. I mean, you mentioned it during the game. You're like, JK's legs look really heavy, and he probably had the best game of any Bronco on offense by quite a wide margin. Mm-hmm. But you said it, and then you're like, oh, it is Thursday.
Yeah, I think they're tired. When you put the weeks and you actually look at the schedule, going to Philly, then going to London, then coming back here playing the Giants, I think, and there's been no bye week in between. There's been no days off, and then you have a short week on the Thursday night. I think these guys are fatigued, and yeah, it was one of JK's longest runs, and I'm like, man, it looks like his hamstrings are tight. He looks like he looked heavy. His legs looked like they were heavy, and I think there's a lot going on. I hope Sean gives these guys a couple days off, and I think they just need to get away from the building. Sometimes you just need a reset. You need to get away from the grind. You need to don't look at any film for a couple of days. Take a couple days off, get out of here, and then come back with a fresh mindset. Because right now, I don't know if the pressure might be mounting up to the guys. Because this is a very different situation. They haven't been in this situation. Last year, 10-7, not a lot of expectations, rookie quarterback. This year, Sean puts the expectation of this could be a Super Bowl team. This is one of the top 7 teams that he feels like that he's coached that has an opportunity to win it all. And to me, when I see Bo, when I see the offense, when I see these games, defense is playing lights out. Offense looks like there's so much pressure on to hit every single play and just to be right all the time. And I feel like that is wearing on these guys. It doesn't I see a little bit of joy in the fourth quarter and pulling out these wins, but I don't see joy throughout the entire game. It doesn't look fun for these guys right now. And there were times where I watched this game today where they were coming out of the huddle and they didn't believe in the play call. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
Just from the execution standpoint, like, oh man, we're calling a screen again, or we're not running the ball again. We just had a first down. That's what I saw.
I've got 2 big takeaways, and I'm gonna stay on the positive side for these, or at least on the spin side. First of all, I think it's important to remember that this is Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football games are inherently ugly. They're harder to win. No one feels good. All these guys are out there still feeling sore. It's like being hungover and going to work. Like you can get through the day. You're gonna figure out a way. You're gonna find a way. You might have to excuse yourself a couple times, but you'll get through it. And that's like what playing Thursday Night Football is like for these guys. I'm gonna take you guys back to October 6th, 2022. I was in the building. So Thursday night. The Denver Broncos were playing the Indianapolis Colts. Denver Broncos came into the game 2-2. They had just come off of an ugly win against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday Night Football, and they found themselves in an ugly Thursday night game. For those of you who don't remember, the game went into overtime with a tied score of 9-9. The Denver Broncos lost that game in overtime to the Indianapolis Colts. And I just remember thinking during this game, like, wow, if they can find a way to win this one, you just like go take a shower and say a win's a win. But they didn't. And I think that's a big difference between what this team has gotten to. Look, no one is excited about what they just saw. But you should be excited about the fact that the Broncos know how to win these games now. And there is plenty of times in the last 10 years where the Broncos wouldn't have won that game. And so the fact that they did, and it's not like to get to 5-4 or whatever, I guess, 6-4, 5-5. Like that's to get to 8-2, which really matters. Because I think if that was to get to, let's just say it was to get to 6-4, we'd be like, no, like they just don't have it. Like maybe they can make the playoffs, but this team still has a chance to accomplish all of their regular season goals. In fact, they control their destiny to accomplish all their regular season goals. So to me,
they're by far and away ahead of all goals.
Yes, exactly. And so that's my perspective on it, is like you snuck away with a win. You have a lot to improve on. You have to figure this out. But you not only just like bought yourself 10 days, like you've bought yourself a lot of leeway with the way that you've played through the first 10 games of the season, or at least the record that you have through the first 10 games of the season. And the other thing that I want people to remember is defense matters.
Yes, it does.
As ugly as this game was from an offensive perspective, it was equally as beautiful from a defensive perspective. They gave up 1 touchdown. Was that the first drive of the game?
I think so. Or first or second.
Second drive of the game, the Raiders went 41 yards. It was after a shanked punt. They went 41 yards and scored a touchdown. The Broncos didn't allow a single point the rest of the game. That's an unbelievable effort by that defense. That shouldn't just be like thrown away because we were disgusted by what we saw on offense. It should be celebrated and praised that this defense was able to go out there and find a way to win in a game where the offense put up 10 points. That's so hard to do, and I feel like that should be celebrated just as much as the offense should be criticized.
That 2015 Raiders game that you brought up, when I think we were up 9-7.
9-7. They were driving,
and then Chris Harris has the pick six. Man, it's tough to watch. And right now, I don't know how I feel about saying this right now, but I'm just going to say it, and maybe it just opens it up for a conversation. But is Sean Payton, is the game passing him up? It's hard to say because sometimes when you're watching or when we've watched film or done the inside scoop, like there are a lot of plays open and players aren't executing or the throw is missed. But this is concerning. I didn't see the open plays today. I didn't see the Sean Payton scheme everybody up.
There's one to Evan Ingram in the red zone after the blocked punt.
Maybe I missed that one.
Bo should have hit. Yeah, that's when we were moving. Bo kind of had his feet offset when he saw Evan and just tried to rip it immediately, spiked it.
Are you worried about Bo?
No. I am monitoring Bo. I'm monitoring Bo, but I'm not worried because, again, they've just bought themselves so much leash with the way that they're playing. Bo's still a really young quarterback in the NFL who's shown us some impressive flashes. I just, again, want to get back to this defense. First of all, it should not be slept on, and I said this last week, like you're not supposed to say this in 2025, but like the Broncos are the quarterbacks are leaving games against the Broncos in a lot of pain, at the very least.
Yeah, them boys is hitting.
Geno Smith could barely move at the end of the game. And people are going to call it dirty or whatever, but like that's just hard-nosed, smash-mouth football on the defensive side of the ball.
I love what the defense is doing.
You don't think like Patrick, like, because we were talking about this game, like the Chiefs are watching, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that they're watching saying like, all right, like we got some stuff to work with here. You don't think Patrick Mahomes is like, get the ice baths ready?
I think he's super aware, and I think he's going to be super concerned because, and you love this, especially if you are a Broncos fan and you're playing for the Denver Broncos, is that, look, man, we're playing a physical game. And Patrick better be careful running because Dre Greenlaw, DJ Jones, Bonitto, Cooper, they are going to make you feel pain. And you got to think twice when you're running. You got to think twice. And you love to have that. And I love the physicality that the defense is bringing. The question is, how can they continue to sustain that for the rest of the season and then a deep playoff run?
Yeah.
Holding teams to 7 points or 10 points.
They have to change. This is not sustainable.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah, no.
Like, don't get it twisted. This is not sustainable. But, again, you've bought yourself a lot of time. They have, I think someone just said in the chat, one game in the next 23 days. You got a lot of time to figure this out. You got 10 games before the Chiefs. Empty the absolute tank against the Chiefs, and then you go into a bye week. Last thing on the defense, then I want to get
Chiefs game is going to be nuts.
Absolutely. Last thing on the defense, then I want to get Henry's instant takeaway. Broncos went 5 for 15 on third down. Terrible, right?
Ooh, no, not good at all.
Broncos defense held the Raiders to 4 for 15 on third down. Broncos had 220 total yards in the game. Terrible, right?
Yeah.
Broncos defense held the Raiders to 188 total yards in the game. The Broncos had 3.9 yards per play. Terrible, right? The Broncos defense held the Raiders to 3.2 yards per play. The Broncos had 136 passing yards, right? Abysmal. They held the Raiders to 114 passing yards. And finally, they had 84 rushing yards, which is not good. And they held the Raiders to 74 rushing yards. The defense literally said, like, anything you could do, we can do better. And we're going to find a way to win you this game. So celebrate the defense while you criticize the offense. Hank, Give us your immediate takeaway.
I mean, you guys, everything you said was smart and right.
Thanks.
So you know what? I'm going to be positive here because that's way more fun than telling the truth.
Tell the truth.
Nope. Truth is J.K. Dobbins is really good. And I think that is going to be my takeaway.
That's the truth.
Yep, that's the truth. It's the truth that I'm choosing to talk about first. What was it? 18 carries, 17 carries, gives them 4.5 yards a pop in a game where nothing else is working. That's a really good running back. I mean, that's who J.K. Dobbins is a bell cow running back who is the face of an offense. I mean, that's what he's been since he got to Ohio State. And in theory, every stop along the way, although, of course, injuries have ended all those at some point. We'll knock on when we bring up the injuries with him. I believe in this running game. There are honestly not a lot of things that I believe in with the Broncos right now, but the running game is for real. That is one of the 10 best running games in the NFL. If you can start scaring guys or scaring defenses downfield with a deep passing attack or honestly any sort of passing attack, it'll just open up any more. The fact that you can turn to J.K. Dobbins and run the ball between the tackles when things aren't going well and find success, that is going to be very, very important over the next 3 months.
Hank, who's besides Indianapolis? Is there anybody better at rushing the ball than us?
Jeez, I can pull up the numbers for sure.
Look it up.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, Detroit.
Really quick.
Detroit would be up there.
The Broncos can turn to J.K. Dobbins when they're in trouble.
Yes.
I turn to Coors Light. I turn to Coors Light, whether it's happy or sad or confusing, which wasn't one I was prepared for. That's a new one for Coors Light and me. And confusing still hits. Still hits. Mountain's still blue. And it tastes good. It tastes better after a Denver Broncos victory, even a confusing Denver Broncos victory. So shout out to our friends over at Coors Light. They were supplying it at the tailgate today, which was a great vibe. I loved the tailgate today. Everyone was just having a blast. Food was amazing. Shout out to Fire on the Mountain, Saucy Southern, and Sexy Pizza. That is right. We have 3 different food options at our tailgate.
Saucy Southern, fire.
But mostly shout out to Coors Light for supplying us with the ice cold, refreshing beer. Make the most of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. And go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR to get it delivered straight to your door. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Also, as always, want to give a shout out to, we've got so many great partners. I'm very excited to talk about this partner in particular, and that partner is Factor. Oh, Factor's the best. Factor is really good for all sorts of different people. My favorite point in my life when I used Factor was when I was living alone and working a lot, and I just had a refrigerator stacked with meals. Yep. And so you just, whenever you needed one, you just turn to it. Especially because I sometimes eat at weird hours because, like tonight, I'm going to be up super late. Hopefully get to sleep in, although that won't be the case. And I'll just throw the sleep cycle off for the foreseeable future. And Factor just makes it so easy. They have all sorts of different kinds of meals, whether you're going for the protein heavy stuff, low calorie stuff, more GLP-1 friendly meals. They've got a new Mediterranean diet, all sorts of different stuff, all sorts of different choices. And they make it so easy. It's got to pop it in the microwave, but chef prepared, and so it tastes really good. 97% of customers say Factor helped them live a healthier life. I'd sign off on that. Eat smart at factormeals.com/DNVR50 off and use code DNVR50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for a year. That's code DNVR50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready to eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto renewing subscription purchase.
All right. Second segment here on the DNVR Broncos post-game show presented by Bet365. RK, Bennie Fowler, Henry Chisholm, and Zach Stevens will be joining us later. I always like to make the second segment kind of a bigger conversation, maybe zoom out a little bit and talk about the thing that probably most of Broncos country is talking about after a game. And tonight it just has to be Bo Nix. I've got group chats with my buddies that are blowing up talking about Bo. Obviously, you're seeing it all over the chat. I'm seeing it all over Twitter. There is a sense of unsettlement. I don't know if that's a real word. But Broncos country is very unsettled right now when it comes to the quarterback position. And I think we can have a conversation here about where things have been, where things are, and where things are going with Bo Nix. Benny, how are you feeling right now?
I'm a little unsettled, but I'm not necessarily unsettled when it comes to Bo and his ability to play. I'm unsettled with, can Sean make it easier for him? Look, I'm gonna compare, and sometimes it sucks to compare because comparison is the thief of joy. But if I look at what Josh McDaniels is doing with Drake May, he's helping him find the matchups and he's helping him see the field really well. What Ben Johnson is doing with Caleb Williams right now, he's helping them see the field. He's making it easier on them. How can Sean make it easier on Bo? Clearly, he's a little sped up in his process. His footwork is a little off. I'm not a quarterback coach. I understand receiver and footwork and timing, and I think the receivers can help him out a lot more. But when you think about Sean Payton, one of the top play callers in NFL history, how can he make it easy? Look at what Kyle Shanahan is doing with Mac Jones.
Yeah.
You know, Mac Jones is having a resurgence right now in San Francisco, and Kyle's just making it easy for him, helping him see the field, marrying things up with the run game. But, hey, Mac, here are some reads. Here are some quick throws. Let's get you into a rhythm. How can Sean help Bo out more? I think that is what I would love to see. You know, I know other people, you know, because Bo's a first-round pick, and, yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him, and, you know, Sean has also hyped him up saying that he could be a top 4, top 5 quarterback in the league, which he has the traits of doing that. He has the mindset to do that. He has the ability to do that, and you've seen it in flashes. But I think, and what I would love to see, is how can Sean help him out a little bit more? How can the concepts and the spacing be helped out a little bit more?
Tempo.
We saw the interception, and we were talking through it. People are going to blame Bo, but that picture was muddied up by the receivers. Troy Franklin was running a 10 to 12-yard basic in cut, and Pat Bryant was on the outside running a short in cut. Pat Bryant's got to be a little bit more delayed because it's a layered throw. So you have to take your time. You have to open the picture up for Bo. So that's kind of how I think about it. You know, Bo is a young quarterback. He's in his second year. At the end of the day, man, Bo has made plays when they've needed him to in a lot of crucial games, and the Broncos are sitting at 8-2, and he's the leader in that room. He's got the C on his chest, and right now you're not going away from him. You can't go away from a quarterback that's 8-2.
No.
So, yeah, it's tough right now. In Broncos Country, it's better to go through it with him right now as the number 1 seed in the AFC. You know, he's not 2-8, so I'm looking at the positive of this, but Sean gets paid the big bucks.
Yep.
And he gets paid the big bucks for a reason. So you've seen him do it with Taysom Hill and Teddy Bridgewater at times, coming in there and drawing up certain things to help them and keep him going or get wins, ugly wins during the season. And I think Sean's got to, over these next 3 days, I think Sean will do some soul searching as well and looking at himself first, because it always starts at the top. All great teams, all great coaches, it starts at the top, and I think it's got to start with Sean. He's got to look at himself and how can he be better for Bo and for the offense.
Great stuff all around. Where I'm feeling the worst tonight is that I think that's the worst that Bo Nix has looked since the first 4 weeks of his career. And in the end, it's 16 for 28. For 150 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. But it looked so off 100% of the night. Even
the whole time?
Yes. Even the completions were off. You know, there's like some good stuff. There's a 3rd down conversion to Court where he steps up in the pocket and does his like sidearm moving forward throw, and Court catches it. But it's like, you know, he's going to the ground. It's just, there was a little like flat route to Evan Ingram, kind of set up like a screen late in the game that went for 5 yards, but it's like Evan's having to reach for it. And it was just, the good Bo wasn't there. Like the accurate in the short to intermediate stuff wasn't there from Bo tonight. And so that is certainly unsettling. And I go back, you mentioned Sean. We talked about this last week. I really think that Sean is forcing Bo Nix to learn to play the way that he wants him to play.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you mentioned some soul searching over the next 10 days and then a bye week after that to even look deeper. I wonder if Sean has to look in the mirror and say, like, okay, I'll get to that later. We're 8-2 and in first place, and we have a chance to make a mark this year. I think I have to make it more for Bo rather than Sean. And
you're saying more so for Bo.
I'm saying let Bo play the way that Bo wants to play, not the way that Sean wants Bo to play.
Okay, yeah.
And
I agree.
I when we talk about, okay, like, go to tempo.
Yeah.
That's something that Bo has had success in this year. Well, Sean doesn't want to do it because Sean wants him to learn to play like Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And everyone wants Bo to learn to play like Drew Brees. But to me, it's like, you're 8-2. Worry about that in the offseason. Yeah. Let's have Bo Nix play like Bo Nix for now. And use some more quarterback run in the first quarter. Use, tempo in the first quarter. Not just in the 2-minute drill and at the end of the game. But we didn't get fourth quarter Bo. We didn't get any Bo tonight. We got very poor quarterback play for 4 quarters, and the defense bailed them out and found a way to win. And you can't even say that, like, he put together a drive to win the game.
Yeah.
He didn't. They blocked a punt and went backwards and kicked a field goal.
Yeah, RK, man, I don't know what to say. I think I'm always a big person in terms of looking at the film as well, and to see, just because I know what the offense is supposed to look like. I know the timing and the routes and the route depth. So I'll be curious to see what it actually looks like on the coach's film. But I think this mini bye is going to do them some good. Rest a little bit. And like you said, I think Thursday night games are hard. You can't put in a full game plan. You're trying to recover a lot. You just played a very physical Houston Texans team. A lot of people are going to be like, that's what these guys get paid to do. But playing on a Thursday night game is tough. Your body's beat up, So, yeah, I think these couple days away will be good for Bo. And hopefully Sean does say, hey, man, like, maybe him and Davis Webb need to have a talk. Sean and Davis. Maybe Davis Webb's like, it goes into Sean's office and be like, hey, man, this is what Bo really likes him. If we're going to do this, if we're going to win, if we're going to go on a run, this is what Bo wants.
Yeah. I'm interested to see. I want to toss to Hank and get his opinion here in a second, but no, let's do that now.
Yeah, well, I think one thing that you guys are really missing and makes me think that we're totally wrong about what we saw, Bo Nix was Amazon Prime's player of the game presented by JCPenney. He was the best player on the field tonight.
No free ads.
No, right. Not by by HC something else. Nickel. Yeah. But no, like, seriously, there are big problems. Obviously, like, I do think that the beginning of the game was not Bo's fault. So, like, you look at the early completions or incompletions, there are drops, there are honestly, like, Evan Ingram has the 2 drops right off the top. You wind up with all sorts of receivers making mistakes and not taking advantage. And that's not to, like, say Bo played a good game or anything. It's that when you have a quarterback who coming in tonight had missed the second most throws in the NFL and is now, I'm sure, number 1 in the NFL in missed throws. And you combine that with the second most drops by any group of receivers. And tonight they had a bunch more drops, so I'm sure they're first in drops by
the Broncos,
receivers.
Broncos receiving core has the second most drops
coming into tonight. And I would imagine after tonight, again, they played one more game, but I'd imagine they're now in first.
Wow.
And the combination of the drops and the missed throws, though, obviously recipe for disaster. That's how you wind up completing 52% of your passes or whatever the number was.
Disaster hasn't happened. Disaster is losing.
That is true. And that's the crazy part. And that's why you're onto something. Again, like the splits, I get wanting tempo, 92 passer rating with tempo, 85 without. It's like, it's a little, it's something, but it's enough for us to say.
You can't go tempo the entire game. I would just like to have it as part of
you
our
could change
package.
You could change it up. It's just that I don't think that there's an easy answer to any of this. I do think that once you get into the end of the season, playoffs in particular, you probably see a lot more read options. Like you start to use Bo as a runner more.
Yeah.
But he played most of last season with the broken bone in his back, and so it probably scares you away from saying we need Bo to run a lot every game. I do think that there are things that you could do to cater the offense to him more. Maybe even go back to the play action bootleg stuff. It wasn't going well early in the season, but it turns out you haven't been able to find like any other answers, any other things that are going well. But yeah, I mean, it's disappointing. It's a little bit scary moving forward. You would have loved to see Bo take a step forward this year, and that's not what we've seen at all. But at the same time, like there's no move that's going to be made. You know, this is Bo's season. You're going into next year with Bo as your starter, and maybe a year from now we start having conversations about like, oh, is this the future? But for now, the question is just how do we take best advantage of what we have, and then you can evaluate how it works later. I think eventually that means more running. It also just means like hit some easy throws, make some easy catches, and this could all look very different.
Totally.
There definitely is no moving off of Bo. I mean, 10-7 leads you back to the playoffs. You got the number 1 seed right now.
Yeah.
You're not moving off of Bo at all. That's not even a question.
It's not a question. The question is what we talked about earlier in the week. Can you get Bo Nix to level up one more level this year? If you can, the ceiling for this team climbs and climbs and climbs. But right now, he's closer to moving backwards. And so that's where Sean has to figure it out. Like the rest of this season, the defense is Super Bowl caliber.
For sure. They put on 2 shows the last 2 weeks without their best player.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to compare anything to Peyton Manning, but like that 2015 defense won a Super Bowl with the worst version of Peyton Manning of his entire career.
100%.
Like a defense can carry you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Bo just has to get to a level where he can move the ball consistently and hit the stuff that Sean schemes up, and then take care of the easy stuff. Like
Sean can't scheme it up. Sean can't scheme up the whole game for him, though. So
totally, but Sean can scheme up 3 to 4 big plays, which could get you enough points with this defense.
Just throw the ball to 13. Every time he catches the ball, it's a first down. He had 1 catch for 40 yards today.
Yeah, he had 2, but 1 got called back for OPI.
On him?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. I mean, every time he gets the ball thrown to him, at least he's going to catch it.
Absolutely. All right, quickly, I want to tell you guys about our friends over at Ent Credit Union and the Denver Broncos debit card. Every 15 swipes on your Broncos checking debit card enters you for a chance to win home game tickets. And the worst home game of the year is already behind us. A Broncos debit card and it's limited edition Bo Nix themed. But even better than that, when you get your free tickets to a Broncos game, or maybe you use your debit card to buy tickets to a Broncos game, you're going to get 10% off food and gear on game days at Empower Field with no surprise fees. So if you're ready to bank like a Bronco, head over to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR to get yourself a sweet Broncos debit card. To learn more, go over to that website. It's insured by the NCAA. Membership required. Account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card.
Also, shout out to Taco Bell. Sorry, they're playing some 50 Cent down there. Taco Bell is the best. I might be having some Taco Bell later because we were going to get some food at halftime, forgot, didn't work out. But the new Flamin' Hot Frito grilled cheese burrito is very much calling my name. That and the Buffs Box. Buffs Box has the 4 best Taco Bell items. The cheesy gordita crunch, the Doritos Locos Taco, and the beefy 5-layer burrito, and of course the cinnamon twist. You get the large drink. It includes a large drink, which is always interesting to me. That's what a steal, $7.
Cinnamon twist. Did you mention cinnamon twists?
Yes, I think I did. I'm a little tired. Taco Bell's the best. It's a big day for Taco Bell. So get on over there. Remember, for every touchdown CU scores, they donate $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation. So live Moss at Taco Bell.
Pat Bryant was the leading receiver for the Denver Broncos tonight. 1 catch. That's wild. I want to say something because I remember it was actually a Monday show. It was right after the Chargers loss, right? Because the Chargers came after the Colts. Yes.
Yep.
Broncos had fallen to 1-2, and they were playing. Gosh, why is everything feeling so far away to me now? Let me get the schedule up. So the Broncos had fallen to 1-2 with the Bengals, hapless Bengals on the schedule. I said, you're gonna get a chance to play the Bengals to get to 2-2, and then you got a chance to play the Super Bowl champion Eagles. And if you can win that one, everyone is going to forget about this. What happened? They did that, and it sparked a now 7-game winning streak. So as everyone's feeling kind of weird and off about this win tonight, I remind you, in 10 days, you got an opportunity to welcome the Kansas City Chiefs into town. And if they find a way to win that game, no one will remember this one anymore. And all of the talk tomorrow, which is going to be, I guarantee you, on the national show, Broncos, worst 8-2 team ever, blah, 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 blah. Beat the Chiefs? Well, guess what? Everyone's going to start talking about you as a team that's going to win the Super Bowl.
As the show continues to go on, I feel better and better about the game because the defense is that good. So, like, yeah, it looks ugly. Who cares? Like, 8-2, like you said, if you beat Kansas City to go to 9-2 and put them almost completely out of playoff contention, like, what are we really talking about?
Out of division contention.
And you know what the best thing about the defense playing well is that defense is travel. That travels.
Sure does.
And what I'm talking about for those out there who might not understand what I'm saying, it doesn't matter where you play the Broncos right now. They can win any type of game because the defense is that good. They can go to Buffalo and win. They can go to New England and win. They can go to Kansas City and win. Go to L.A. and win. They can go to Pittsburgh and win. All the teams that are in the AFC top right now, they can go to any one of those teams, home or away, and win that game because of how well the defense is playing.
It's so true. And if I told you right now that the Broncos beat the Chiefs next week with the exact same stats on both sides of the ball, we'll be throwing a party in here.
Yeah.
It's hilarious how...
But it's believable, though. It's really believable.
I mean, I don't know about 118 passing yards for Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, they're going to look at that Buffalo game plan. The Chiefs' offensive line they're not world beaters, and Patrick Mahomes just had his worst ever game, QBR, completed 40% of his passes.
Yeah, I mean...
And the Buffalo Bills defense is not even close to the Broncos defense.
No, it's not. Yeah, I mean, so, again, you just find a way, and there's going to be people in the chat or in the post-game chat who say they'll never beat the Chiefs with this current team or the way they're playing right now. And it's just not true. It's not true. I've learned this. I always say that I learn something new every year when I watch sports. And I think the one that is sticking with me the most this year is that every NFL football game exists in a vacuum.
Yeah.
One week is not a predictor of the next week.
No.
And if it was, we'd all make a lot more money on Bet365. But it's crazy. Like, just because the offense looked terrible tonight does not mean that they're going to look terrible tomorrow or next week. It's a week-to-week league, and it's why the coaches are so important and more important, in my opinion, than any other sport. Game plans matter. The Raiders had an unbelievable defensive game plan for the Broncos tonight.
They did. And we talked about that at the pregame show. Like, Patrick Graham he's a good play caller. We haven't talked about yet, and I haven't asked you, because you and Sean are pretty simpatico in terms of the way you think.
Uh-huh.
So how are you thinking right now? Put your Sean Payton hat on. What are you thinking? How are you addressing the team after the game? And then also, what are you just thinking as a coach, because you and Sean P are always on the same page?
My first inclination would have been, I don't know if you guys think you're getting a day off tomorrow, but we're going to be in here for 12 hours. But I think as I cooled off, took out some of my anger on the media, and then got back into the locker room, I would have realized that this team needs rest. They've played 10 weeks in a row. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That is a lot. And they still don't have a bye week until they play another game. Now you have this mini bye, and I really think you calm down and you realize, like, this team needs rest. Let me give them that rest, and let them know, like, hey, I'm going to give you guys a couple days. But this is something that Coach Prime always says. If I give you something, I'm going to expect something. Mm-hmm. And so I expect you to come back completely recharged and refreshed and ready to fix whatever that shit was out there tonight.
Yeah. I'm forcing Bo you can't come into the building.
Interesting.
Can't come into the building. give me your iPad. I need you to get away. I need you to reset.
What day is he coming back?
He can come back in on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. Friday, take Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and get away from here. Go up to Vail, Aspen, do something. Yeah. Don't come into the football facility because I don't need you to beat yourself up because we have bigger goals now. Like I don't need you to beat yourself up right now. I need you to learn from these mistakes, and we'll point these things out, and we'll get them corrected. But like, it just seemed like there was so much pressure on him tonight, which it shouldn't be like that for him.
No,
he should be free. He should be feeling free.
Remember that first drive of the season?
Yeah,
how free he was playing.
Yeah, and the way he was just rolling.
Yeah,
yeah. We haven't seen that since we've seen it in fourth quarters, but yeah, I don't come into the facility, man. We'll correct this on Monday.
All right, let's hop into the Hank Tank. Hank, what do you got for us tonight? I have no idea. I'm excited to learn.
We got the top 10 Broncos. We're bringing it back. It was popular last week. We need the positivity.
I don't think that Crawshaw made it tonight.
Yeah, Crawshaw goes from top Bronco to bottom Bronco.
Bottom Bronco,
right?
Wow.
He has to be. I mean, he's giving us 30-yard punts. Like,
I don't want to pile on.
I don't either. We're trying to do top Broncos, and you're bringing up Crawshaw.
That's what we knew was a weird game.
We were witness to the worst punt I've ever seen from an NFL punter tonight. Now, like, I've seen some shanks that just go off the side of the foot, go straight out of bounds, whatever. But the actual like flight path of that punt, I've never seen that.
It went off his ankle. They showed the replay. Well, and then they had to punt from the 36-yard line because Will Lutz, also who doesn't make the list, left the 50-whatever yarder short.
59.
Yeah, so they punt from the 36, and it's a touchback. So you got to net a 16 yards off of that bad boy.
Yeah, okay, let's get to the top 10 Broncos.
This is what always happens. You send it over to me, I'm happy, and then all of a sudden you suck me in. The number 10 Bronco, Ini Uwazurike, who is turning into a really good player. He is one of the, let's just say, 75 top defensive linemen in the NFL, and it's that simple. Like, we could nitpick and say, like, 50. Well, I mean, like, if you say a couple starters per team, he's a starting NFL lineman. Gets I think only a half sack tonight. He was in the backfield a lot. That guy is a monster, and he's finally playing like it.
Wait. Before Hank reveals this list, over under 1.5 offensive players.
Over.
I'm taking under.
Pat Bryant and J.K. Dobbins.
We'll see.
I've got just J.K.
You'll remember Pat Bryant got called for the OPI. Number 9, Adam Prentice. Not to spoil anything. Number 9, Adam Prentice.
Oh, I lost.
Yep. Adam Prentice makes because obviously a lot of fullbacks can block. He fits that bill. And on a night like tonight, that is important. And when you're looking for players who played, above neutral level, Adam Prentice is one of them. Throws in like the 13-yard catch in the flat.
Second on the team in yards per catch tonight.
Pretty crazy to think about. Also pretty crazy to think. I think that was the second or third first down for the offense. It was an important one. We don't need to linger too long. Along the same vein, Trent Sherfield. I really want to include the offense. He's not meant to catch passes, so don't throw him the ball. They didn't. That's like beginning step for Trent Sherfield having a big game. But the blocks on the edge.
Did what he was brought here to do tonight.
Yes.
Better than he's done it all season.
He blocked. He really blocked well. And when we talk about that run game being the only thing that worked on offense, he was a part of that, along with Adam Prentice.
The over already hit.
Yeah, I know. Pretty crazy, right?
Every time you include an offensive player, you're leaving off a defensive player who deserved to be on there.
That's probably true.
Who better be number 1.
Number 7, we've got JFM. JFM was my biggest omission last week. People got mad at me for that. They were correct. I should have issued an apology, but I got scared to admit it. JFM's always in the backfield. Again, like this is a really good defensive line that includes, can't transition. Number 6, Chris Abrams-Drain.
Oh.
Never even thought about him, did you? Never crossed your mind.
You are correct.
There was one catch on the sideline where it's like, yeah, maybe could have been a little tighter, but it's a little honey hole type situation, so you can't be too upset.
Yeah.
Awesome performance, I think. And again, it's against Geno Smith, so whatever, but
he's not bad.
No.
2-legged Geno, not bad. 1-legged Geno, very bad.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of 1-leg Geno. Number 5, Zach Allen in the backfield. I think 2 half sacks obviously equates to 1 sack, but I think 2 half sacks is honestly more valuable than
I agree.
Just one. And that was not all he did. Batted the pass. Gave us, is this 3 straight games? We got the strap from Zach Allen.
Definitely 2 straight where he was putting the seatbelt on.
Yep, I like that. Number 4, maybe too low, Dondrea Tillman.
Wow.
That's
the playmaker is what they're calling him.
the playmaker.
It's just me, but
Again, if Marvin Mims
I'm
isn't
calling him that.
right, if Marvin Mims isn't back for the next game, put him at punt returner.
Denver Broncos leader in interceptions, Dondrea Tillman.
Oh boy,
and
pretty
interception
crazy.
yards, gotta be.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, those 2 returns were both insane. Number 3, J.K. Dobbins. Again, he was the offense. Couple guys who we shouted out who helped. That offensive line, it's really hard to give offensive linemen individual spots on this list because it's tough during the game to say like, oh, Quinn Miners was really killing it. Quinn, who left obviously with the illness, which is too bad.
Wait, he left this game?
Left again with an illness. I think last week's game he was also ill, and I want to say they had like a specific water bottle like marked that nobody else was supposed to use because it was Quinn's because they don't want other.
I thought that was Palcho.
That could be.
Yeah, that was Palcho.
So news story that I'm quickly shifting to is Palcho probably got Quinn sick. Doesn't matter.
You're just baseless rumors.
Right. Palcho's still not on the list regardless. Number 2, Nik Bonitto. He's back. That 3-game sackless streak. It's dead. He was in the backfield a lot. Should have gotten like a holding call, stuffed up. So we always hear about the sacks, of course.
Does he have 10 sacks now?
Yeah. No, he might be at 9.5. I think it's 9.5.
Wow.
But also
he had 4 close calls tonight.
Right. Also the Brock Bowers end around, which we call the Noah Fant special, had the same result as a Noah Fant end around, which was that it got blown up in the backfield. And that was Nik Bonitto. Only counts as a TFL. Number 1 on the list of top Broncos is the Raiders. They handed the game to the Broncos. You don't like that? You don't like it? I think number 1 is the Raiders.
There's no Talanoa Hufanga?
He was down there. He should have been on there.
Wait.
That is my oversight. Talanoa Hufanga?
Yeah.
I just say it fast.
He's not on there?
No, I made a mistake. I put these together really fast.
Okay. Remove all of the offensive players and replace them with Talanoa.
We can take the Raiders off. We'll take the Raiders off. Put Hufanga number 1. He had the sack on top of all the things he always does.
Yeah.
I take him for
The
granted.
sack that, by the way, created the only Denver Broncos touchdown of the night.
Right? Ugh. Oh, and JL blocked the punt.
Yep.
JL belongs on there too. Sorry, Adam Prentice and Trent Sherfield.
Troy Franklin also was the only player in the football game, or only Bronco in the football game to get in the end zone.
He also gave the ball to the other team by letting it bounce off his face? Chest. Okay.
Okay, you're right. That was also a weird play. Bad play.
Yeah.
And I trust Benny, who said that it was rookie mistake.
Yep.
Rookie mistake by Pat Bryant. Which, yeah, you guys heard him talk about it. All right. I heard the chimes, which means Zach Steven tapping in any second here. But shout out to our friends over at Common Spirit, who, by the way, had a hand in the game day experience tonight. The Common Spirit wristbands here that were lighting up in the stadium looked amazing. One of the many nice little touches from the new Broncos ownership group with an assist from our friends over at Common Spirit.
Halftime show was lit.
Quite literally. So shout out to Common Spirit for athletes, weekend warriors, and anyone who loves to move. If you're experiencing any sports injury or chronic pain, the Common Spirit Mountain Region is home to an incredible sports medicine program, including their new sports center, Common Spirit Health in Parker. This team of qualified and passionate providers specializes in the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention of sports-related injuries for all athletes, including your Denver Broncos. This isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about preventative care, performance enhancement, and getting you back to peak conditions safely and quickly. Don't let an injury keep you on the bench, or even better, be proactive about your health. For more information, visit mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the 8-2, first place, best record in the NFL, Denver Broncos.
And shout out to Toyota, who, if Toyota took the place of the Broncos would be 10-0.
Where was Pigsby in the top 10 Broncos?
Right. Pigsby also number 1.
Okay.
Pigsby. Shout out not enough Pigsby's in the chat today.
Did we get the Pigsby? Is the Pigsby emoji live?
We unfortunately could not get all the emojis flipped from Nuggets emojis to Broncos.
Can we get some Pigsby's in the chat? I want to see what it looks like.
Oh, there is. We couldn't get the income. But back to Toyota. Toyota is an incredible car, official car of Pigsby, I'd say. Boy, the 4Runner, the Tacoma, the Camry,
Tundra.
The Tundra. I mean, all sorts of different options. More low and zero emission options than any other automaker. All the off-road stuff, the 4-wheel drive, combination stuff like the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck, which I recommend. You can visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East, Aurora Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
All right. Cannot wait to hear from our guy, Zach Stevens, coming to you live from Mile High. And I can't wait to hear what this locker room was like. So let's bring in Zach.
Fellas, what is going on? And Broncos Country, remember this. Defense wins championships because that is what the Broncos need for this season. And if that holds up, the Broncos are winning the Super Bowl this year because, as Alex Singleton said in the locker room after the game with a massive smile, we have the best defense in the league. And boy, did we see that on display today. In fact, Alex Singleton went a step further. He said we shouldn't have allowed a touchdown to that team. Riley Moss said that's what makes this Broncos defense elite, is they are striving for perfection week in and week out, day in and day out, not just on Sunday, but on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday. And boy, did it look like that. They destroyed Geno Smith. Literally the second week in a row, they have now hit a quarterback so hard that he's been out of the game, at least for a portion of the game. And this defense, man, they are feeling it. And the mood in the locker room, Ryan, you asked it, it was different. On one side, you had a very happy defense. They just did an incredible job. Won a game, gave up 7 points, held the team to less than 200 yards of offense, and just was dominant. Literally set a record for most sacks by a team through the first 10 games of a season since 1989 with their 46 sacks. In fact, that's 2 more than has ever been had in the last 35 plus years. That's how good this defense is. On the flip side, though, the offense, 10 points, just enough to get it done. And honestly, 3 of those points might have been because of special teams. So the offense trying to stay calm about where they are right now. But I'll tell you what, guys, talking to Bo and Sean, it might be the most down I've heard them on the offense, as it should be. That was not acceptable. You lose. You get crushed to the Chiefs if you bring that offense here to Mile High in 10 days from now. You can't have that, but they didn't play the Chiefs. They played the Raiders and got the win. So Sean Payton at the podium, said it was a real good win, said the defense was fantastic, but guys, he was not pleased with himself. A couple of times he pointed the finger at himself, which again, you don't hear all that often with Sean Payton. And just said simply the offense needs to be better. They certainly do. This was the most down I've heard Bo after a game. I don't think he wanted to talk to the media after that performance, and he was not pleased with himself. Cortland Sutton, I don't believe talked. I think got out of there because everyone was focused on the defense, so it wasn't anything wrong with Cortland, but don't think we got to talk to Cortland. We did talk to Pat Bryant. He was asked how the offense is doing. He said, we're doing enough to win. We're putting enough points on the board right Pat. Now. And he said there are things that he needs to change, including the penalties. And that was something that Sean Payton really focused on with the offensive side was the penalties, guys. 11 penalties. Last week, the Broncos were better on the penalty side, but we got right back to the bad penalty Broncos. That has to change. The offense has to get better. But a win is a win. They're the best seed in the AFC. They're the best record in the entire NFL. These are the problems you want to have. You want to have winning problems, and that's what the Broncos have right now, led by the best defense in the NFL.
Champagne problems.
Zach, man.
That's what they got on the defensive side.
Zach, man, curious to know, did Sean talk anything about special teams and what was going on with Crawshaw today and the punt unit? Like, obviously you have the block punt, but special teams seems to be a concern. Will Lutz with the field goal comes up very short. So did he talk about that at all?
Yeah, he did talk about special teams, and Benny, there are no excuses for Jeremy Crawshaw. As much as people might want to be like, maybe the wind got to it, Sean said, nope, that wasn't the case. The case was with him dropping the ball, and he talked just this past week about how important dropping the ball is for punters, and then that's exactly what he pointed to for Jeremy Crawshaw. So he has to get that fixed again. You have special teams like that outside of the block punt. You have offense like that. You are going to lose to the good teams in the NFL. Fortunately, they did not play against one of those teams, so they were able to get away with it. When it came to the field goal, Sean said in hindsight, he wouldn't have done that, and he shouldn't have done that because that came up way short. And guys, that came off of the third down play, which we'll get to in a second because Sean Payton talked about that one. But the block field goal was the block punt was everything. That gave the Broncos the 3 points they needed to win the game. Too many times did the Broncos were in position to score to get even more points on the board, and they went backward due to those penalties, due to a couple of uncharacteristic sacks from Bo Nix and the offensive line. No one really on offense played good today, but the special teams, in a crazy way, won the game for them at the very end with that block punt, thanks to J.L. Skinner's face mask. And that's the first block punt for the Broncos since 2018, and boy, did it come at a good time. But special teams overall was not good enough, and neither was the offense. And let's just talk about that third down play call. You have 3rd and 1. You're in field goal range, and instead of running the ball up the gut or running it to the outside or throwing a quick slant to Cortland Sutton or something like that, you try a trick play where you throw the ball backward to Cortland Sutton, who was then intending to throw the ball forward. And Sean was asked about that and said, we've had that one in the bag for a long time, and the Raiders just made a good play, and then gave credit to Cortland Sutton for not throwing the ball there because the play was blown up, but didn't take much responsibility. Instead, gave the responsibility to gave the credit to the Raiders for blowing that play up.
All right, Zach. Zach, the bus just pulled up from the tailgate, so we're not going to be able to hear you probably for a little bit. But I know that people want to hear. Well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. After a lot of games this year, there has been confidence poured into Bo Nix about Bo Nix by his teammates. What was kind of the mood in the locker room talking about Bo tonight?
Yeah, all the confidence was about the defense, Ryan. And so I think that tells you what you need to know about this performance. And like I said, Bo Nix and Sean Payton, this is the most down I've heard them about the offense after a game. And again, it probably should be. Bo was not good. He did not have the special fourth quarter that everyone was hoping and expecting by the time the first 3 quarters looked bad. Guys, the Broncos had 13 offensive drives. 9 of them did not get a first down. That is disgusting. You cannot have that, and it has to get fixed, and it has to get fixed in a hurry right now. And Sean Payton is going to give the guys and the coaches and the players the weekend off, but they know when they get back in here, they have to turn things around, turn things up. And Ryan, because I don't want to forget to mention this, Sean Payton gave a baffling answer when he was asked about just what happened on the offensive side of the ball. He said on 3rd down, and I don't know if he was joking about this because it was I was confused by it. He was asked about what happened on the offense, and he said on 3rd downs I was looking at the wrong side of the play sheet for my 3rd down calls too often. And again, I think it's a joke, but I honestly don't know. Like if he has 2 different 3rd downs that he likes to look at, one's on the other side, one's on another. But the offense was that bad where I believe it if it wasn't a joke, because it was that bad. It has to get fixed. So maybe Sean needs to put them all together. I'm not exactly sure.
So you said Sean is going to give the guys the day off tomorrow and the entire weekend, or they're in tomorrow and then giving them Saturday and Sunday off?
No, they get tomorrow off, they get Saturday off, they get Sunday off. It's a long weekend. Sean Payton does this, and I also expect him to give the Broncos the entire bye week off. He believes in that. It's kind of an Andy Reid thing as well of giving players the entire week off, and so he is going to give these guys the entire weekend off, including tomorrow, despite the offensive performance.
Zach, I don't have anything else, man. There's not much to ask you right now, brother.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, the Broncos are the number 1 seed in the AFC. They've got the best record in the NFL. Defense wins championships, and you've got wins or wins. We're going to forget this one. Hopefully we're not reminded of it in 10 days when the Kansas City Chiefs come to town and we're saying, what the heck was going on with that offensive performance? And one more thing for you guys. I want to end on this because it kind of sums up how Sean Payton's feeling right now about the Broncos. So there's that Bill Parcells quote. You are what your record says you are. And so Sean Payton, being a Bill Parcells guy, likes that quote. He was asked about it a couple of weeks ago and said, yep, we're 7-2. I think he was asked about it just 4 days ago. Said, yep, we're 7-2. That's who we are. Today, he was asked by our friend reporter Evan. So Sean, you're 8-2, and Sean interrupted and said, no buts. We're 8-2. That's it. You're not going to go on and ask a but there. We are 8-2. We need to get better. We're not satisfied with where we are, but we are 8-2. And then he went on to say, we've got 8 wins. I don't think anyone else has 8 wins. So Sean was in full form, although he did point the finger at himself, which is pretty notable a couple of times. Hopefully we get that play sheet figured out right there. I'm getting some intel from our guys Nick and RG that maybe he was referring to 3rd and longs as opposed to 3rd and shorts, and he was looking at the wrong one each time. It doesn't matter. He needs to get that figured out. The Broncos offense needs to get better. But the Broncos won. They've got a 7-game win streak going on right now. The hottest team in the NFL, 8-2. Let's enjoy this weekend. And then, boy, we got the Chiefs on deck, baby. That's going to be such an electric game. The Broncos are 4-0 in their throwbacks right now. Let's be pumped. Let's enjoy this because the Broncos are finally back. 8-2, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, Zach. Appreciate you. 8 wins, no buts. 8 wins, no buts.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
There he is, Zach Stevens.
Great to see you, Zach.
Get home safe, Zach.
See
We
you,
appreciate you. 8 wins, no buts.
I'm all for that, man. I think you don't apologize for winning games in the NFL.
No.
I don't care how it looks. You never apologize for that.
And I love that. I love that Sean is kind of sticking up for his team because he knows that, the media coverage of this game is not going to be glowing. So that's that's what coaches should do. Point the finger at yourself. Make sure that everyone knows how, that you are into 7-game win streak.
Yep.
I said it last week. Do mid teams go on 6-game win streaks? No. Do mid teams go on 7-game win streaks? No. Winning 7 games in a row in the NFL is incredibly difficult.
And what, 10 wins in a row at home or 9? 9 or 10 wins in a row at home.
11? Maybe even, I think 11.
11
from Hank. All right. Let's get to Super Chats here. Starting from Apple Kid. I'm not overreacting when I say Sean made a mistake drafting Bo Nix instead of Brock Bowers. I don't care what Bo Nix does. I'm not re-signing him. He's terrible. I disagree with every line of that super chat, but thank you for the super chat. Next one's from John Lane, 1999. Appreciate it. Magic winning socks are still going strong. May not have looked pretty, but still a win. Want to say Benny has been an absolutely awesome addition. RK and Akib's show is absolutely fantastic. Love Hank and Zach's work too. Go DNVR.
Appreciate you, John.
John, appreciate you. By the way, John, you got the lucky socks. I've got the lucky shoes. I've worn these shoes for every game of the 7-game win streak, and they're starting to get dirty. I can't clean them. Haven't cleaned them. Haven't touched them. Got to leave them how they are. Next one's from Valley Bandit. Thank you, defense. Sincerely, the offense. Yeah. Maybe that's what
life's a team sport. Football is the ultimate team game. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't.
What if Bo wrote a thank you note and put it in every defensive player's locker tomorrow?
He should.
That'd be leadership. UGA Bronco, get Tillman in on offense. 2 words, Jalen Waddle. So Tillman's Jalen Waddle. I like it.
You know what? Hank talked about, we talked about the Jalen Waddle trade or the fact that it didn't happen, and tonight was going to be the night that the receivers showed that they did the right thing in not trading for him. Didn't look like that.
No, that would have been nice. That would have been really nice. For sure. Jalen Waddle wouldn't have played tonight, I would just like to point out. I don't think.
No.
Not on one day of preparation.
Yeah.
So maybe the receivers can prove their worth next week when it would have been his first game with the Broncos.
Be a lot of man-to-man next week.
that good news for Cortland Sutton, who's been quiet for 2 weeks. From Ryan B. Benny, put the pads on. We need someone who can catch.
I'm all good, man. I've had my time. And those boys out there, Denver Broncos got a good receiver room, but I'm good. I don't want to play football at all.
From Joel. Is Bo Nix the guy? It's okay. Honest opinion, please. Like I said, monitoring the situation.
I think Bo Nix is the guy. 10-7 as a rookie, 8-2 in his second year. He's still got a. When did you guys know that you guys were like a legit company? How many years?
Wow, great question. At least 4.
Yeah. So most times in the startup world, it's 4 years. Yeah. Have a minimum viable product. Make sure you can sell it. Blah blah blah. It's no different in the NFL. It's the reason why contracts are 4 years. You let them play it out. But I would say Bo's first 2 years are off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, for sure. And I go back to what I said on the pregame show. Like, he has that it factor about him.
Yeah. He seemed rattled on the field, but like on the sideline, he didn't seem frustrated. Like he wasn't slamming his helmet. At least I didn't see it.
Yeah. I think that there just has to be one more leveling up this year, and good things are going to happen. All right, from DeGreat Browse, $100 super chat. Wow. Happy to come home to the best bar in the land. Finding ways to win games is the difference compared to years past. Last time we were this good, Bennie Fowler was on the field. 10 days can change a team, LFG.
Yeah, 10 days can change a team. It's a good reset. I'm so happy that Sean took ownership. I mean, we talked about that. Like, he's got to do some soul searching, and he has already answered that. Like,
really quick, on the third down play sheet, he had to be joking. 100% joke. Like,
and if he's not, that's what we were talking about. Like, has the game passed him by? Like, but I don't think so.
No. That's a joke. No one knows Sean Payton's plays more than Sean Payton.
For sure.
And he would. I don't even have to go any further. From Eamon, says this felt like a loss. We moved to 8-2, and literally nobody takes this team seriously. Tired of being embarrassed in primetime games. You can't get embarrassed and win at the same time. No, you can't. No, they didn't.
I wouldn't say that the team is embarrassed. I feel like they want to play better, but like I said, you're not going to apologize for winning games in the league.
The Broncos haven't won a primetime game against a division opponent since Bennie Fowler was on the team. What is going on here? You don't apologize for this. That was not an embarrassment. It was a win. No, I can go with like unsettling win. I can go with gross win. I can go with need to take a shower. I cannot go with embarrassing win. Those two words can never go together.
Hey, man, 2015 Broncos won a Super Bowl, defense led. Seahawks, defense led. Buccaneers, defense led. 2000 Ravens, defense led. 1985 Bears, defense led. At the end of the day, if you host the Lombardi Trophy, who cares? If the Broncos have the number 1 seed at the end of this season, who cares? Like,
totally. I mean, they just have to.
That means everybody has to come here and play.
Yep. But I think we agree that the offensive play is not sustainable to keep winning games like this. The defense, you can't put that much pressure on the defense every week.
No chance. But maybe the offense will just level up to the play that they have to when they play really good teams.
We'll find out in 10 days. From the Cookie Monster. You're not kidding me to say that shit. I say we sacrifice a goat to the god of offense. Hey, I'm not going to sign off on animal cruelty, but do what you got to do. From Henry. Not this Henry. It's hard to win in the playoffs if you play like this. I get we won, but you can't keep playing like this. So it would be one and done in the playoffs. Depends on who you play and where.
Yep. You could beat Pittsburgh like this.
Well, and if you get this defense at home, again, a lot of work to be done, but we are now 10 weeks into the season. The Broncos are at the very least at the end of this week be tied for first place in the conference. You get teams at home, this defense is going to tee off. Another one from DeGreat Browse. Can the fans realize Bo has better stats than Elway at this point in their careers?
He does have better stats, but I mean LA played 40 years ago, so different game. You throw the ball a lot more, very different.
Yeah. Like, stats were just so different back then.
Way different.
John Elway won a MVP with like 20-something touchdown passes. From Aiden, do you guys feel like the fan base has somewhat become divided on the Bo Nix, Sean Payton tandem? Seems like it's just pointing fingers at who is to blame. Do you guys lean any way on that? Go ahead, Benny.
Yeah, I can definitely hear and see that the fans are super divided on it. But I think as a society in all things, we're super impatient and we want things now. We want things to look perfect, and we compare a lot. And we compare a lot to other teams, other divisions. We compare other eras of play. We compare, Broncos fans have been very lucky to have two of the best quarterbacks ever. So you compare these guys to what Bo is now, it's very different. So, yeah, I think people are very divided, but I would say let things continue to play out. I'll be divided at 8-2. I don't know why.
Totally. And when we want to point fingers, especially in football, it's usually some of everything. Mm-hmm. Bo is missing some opportunities that Sean is creating for him, and there are times where I think Sean needs to let Bo be Bo, and I think there are also times where Sean is struggling to get into a rhythm play calling. It's a little bit of everything. From Zachary, what's poppin', lads? That was a painful watch. Question, when do they stop with these bomb attempts at Troy Franklin? He's never even close.
You never stop.
I like that.
You never stop.
Bo is, last 2 weeks, though, just prayer balls on these deep shots into double coverage. It's a little bit perplexing.
One interception was so bad.
Yeah.
But
someone in our suite had a great point. They're like, well, the punter can't punt tonight, so that was good. Arm punt. From Jose, when did Broncos Country get so ungrateful? Have some perspective. It looked ugly as hell. But this is not the final stop. They are still building this thing. 8-2. Don't be prisoners of the moment, y'all. I think it's good perspective, and I also do think that with football fans, expectations are a sliding scale. So the better you are, the higher the expectations go. And at 7-2 with the Raiders coming in, who are not a good football team, the expectation was go out and beat their ass.
Yep.
And it's natural for fans to react with a bit of disappointment when they were hoping to see a fun primetime game and they got 60 minutes of stress and frustration.
And they spent a lot of money on parking and tickets and trying to watch the game on Amazon.
But we've all done that a bunch of times and watched the Broncos lose. So be grateful for the win. For Mike Trout, a win's a win, and I can't wait for my number 13 jersey for Christmas, and I can only assume the name on the back is Pigsby.
Pat Bryant.
From Ryan, worst fear in Broncos Country, driving Bo out before he's fully developed. The best we've had it in years, and people are mad there are growing pains.
Bo's not going anywhere. Sean Payton handpicked him. Unless Sean Payton gets fired, they're riding this thing out until the wheels fall off.
And Sean's not getting fired.
Exactly.
Next one's from Eamon. Sutton takes 4 seconds to get open. Franklin is raw. Mims can't run routes. Ingram has brick hands. Clearly another weapon was needed at the deadline.
Eamon's having a tough night.
Well, they didn't get it, so got to work with what you got. Also, what was the stat on Marvin Mims? Most average yards per separate
of anybody who's run 150 routes. His 4.8 yards of separation on average per route is the best in the NFL.
Do we give the Broncos any sort of offensive break for the fact that they haven't had Marvin Mims for the last 2 weeks?
No.
Okay.
Now we've got to considerably, arguably, somebody who's considered as one of the best play callers ever. No.
Yeah, okay. Brigson Winfrey says, I'm starting to think Bo Nix has to be hurting bad.
I did think that.
I did too. I was just going to say, I admit that thought crossed my mind.
Yeah. I think he might be hurt.
What injury? Arm?
Or side oblique.
Yeah, I thought of that too. I thought of that last week when he kept spiking throws.
Yeah.
In ways like, remember I kept saying it looked like the ball was stuck to his hand.
Yeah.
And he missed some ones tonight that, again, like,
He looks like he's trying too hard to throw.
when you drafted Bo Nix, his best trait was accuracy on easy stuff.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been there the last 2 weeks, which did make me wonder, like, is he hurt? Hopefully it's just something that 10 days of rest can fix.
I don't know.
Next one from the Blind Swordsman. 8-2 while strapped for cap space. I'll take it. Remember winning 5 games? I do. I'm good with a 10-7 dub. Yeah,
I'm with him.
10-7. Wow. Saints fan. Respectfully, nothing but average or below average players around Bo Nix on offense. For example, Devon Bailey is so bad he doesn't even play for my team, and Bo Nix made him look good. Interesting take.
Chill.
Yeah. I do think that there are good players on this offense. I also think that there's a lot of unfinished products on the offense.
For sure.
Mike Trout, biggest play on offense was that 13 on that deep crosser. Gets that man. That
Gotta
was the
find.
biggest play.
I mean, that's your intermediate passing game. He does it every week. He catches 1 ball or 2 balls every week where it's like, why do we not have him out there more? Why do we not find more opportunities for this kid?
$2 from Roads and Sights of Alaska, who sent another super chat right after that and said, Bo Nix cannot play under pressure being blitzed. Well, guess what? Sean Payton's gonna need to figure out a plan for that, because Steve Spagnuolo is going to be throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Bo Nix.
Everything. We talked about that on the Inside Scoop this week, though. What's the pressure plan? Because clearly no one knows. Bo is not seeing the hots, or the receivers are not understanding the hots. Like, these are things that should be pointed out. These are things that should be walked through. Hey, these are their top blitzes. This is what they do. This is how we're going to combat these things. These things need to be cleaned up immediately.
Henry?
Bo Nix has a 109.3 pass rating against the blitz, 83.5 when not blitz.
Wow.
Yes.
But what about under pressure? Because
Pressure I do not have in front of me.
I think that there's a good chance that the Broncos are doing a good job of picking up blitzes, which then gives Bo an advantage behind that.
And he's just really, really good against man coverage.
And then, yeah. But tonight, under pressure, he had like 9 yards or something.
Well, that was... He didn't have many yards to begin with.
141 of the other yards.
Right.
All right, next one's from Aiden. I just don't understand how other teams' offenses look so easy and simple. Ours looks like rocket science.
I think the same thing sometimes.
I think that I've felt that way about almost every of one of my football teams that I've ever watched. Give me the 2013 Broncos. Everything else after that looked really hard.
Didn't you say when you were watching the 2013 Broncos, it was like people got upset if they punted?
Oh, my God, bro. Punt was like, someone has done something terribly wrong. like a 3 and out, the sky was falling. It was crazy, man. That offense was the most fun I've ever had watching any football team that I love.
It's crazy.
From Jace for the win. Sean Payton thinks he's the smartest person in the room. Are you effing kidding me? Wide receiver pass on 3rd and 1. Run the ball twice. Look, you're right.
You are. He's right.
And I think that Sean addressed it a little bit, but I really think that he felt like he had to do something crazy to get points on the board. And he didn't.
That's really crazy.
And they were on the verge of field goal range.
Yeah.
You get a fresh set of downs there, they were probably going to get a field goal. I just think that he thought this is going to work, and trick plays are like that. When they work, you look like a genius, and when they don't, especially in that situation, you look like an idiot.
100%.
Next one from Steve. A lot of super chats tonight. People are wanting to vent. All right, let's go. The Broncos should have lost tonight. Short week in the midst of a win streak, and easy to focus on the Chiefs instead of the Raiders. They still won, and that means something. Amen.
100%.
Casual Thomas, 3rd and 1. Run the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Great. Shout out to Little Giants.
Yeah, good
movie.
callback. Another one from Eamon. Our offense has been booed every single game at home since the Cowboys game. How many games is that? 1, 2? Except the Cowboys game. But offense has been booed at home every game except the Cowboys game. You can see the pressure piling on Nix. Payton needs to make it easier.
For sure.
From Baba, ugly win is still a win, and a birthday win at that. This team needs a bye. Get yourself a Coors Light or 12 and enjoy your birthday, man. Happy birthday. We appreciate you. Next one from Fonzie. Totally disagree with that super chat. Bo is the man.
Let's go.
Again from Fonzie. 8-2 with a QB learning on the job. We need to give grace. Facts.
Yes.
Next one's from Andrew. I see better quarterback footwork in an amputee store. That's crazy.
Wow.
You guys got to stop laughing. From Bobby Ballantyne. Imagine being a Raiders fan. Let's go. Walk a mile in those shoes tonight.
Oh, a Raiders fan?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You had a worse offense than the Broncos.
They know their season's already over, so they're actually happy that they even played this game close.
Your quarterback's limping around like he's at that store. Next one from Stanier Salonis. Stanier? Yeah, it's probably Stanier. I clearly see that Bo is in his head tonight, and the boost from the crowd didn't help. When he's in a rut, how about we cheer him up instead? I will.
Thank you.
I agree.
Yeah, please do. Like, booing doesn't help anybody. Like, especially a team that's so good.
I'll allow booing in a blowout situation.
Yeah, if Broncos are getting blown
You're
out.
getting blown out. That's a time to voice your displeasure and say, like, hey, this product is not acceptable. The Broncos were in control of this game for the better part of it.
Yeah, for sure. You don't have to boo them when it's 7-7.
Don't boo. Don't do that. You guys, no, sorry, this was 2013. Again, talking about the sky falling. So the Broncos in 2013 played the Jags at home. They were the largest favorite in NFL history. I believe it was a 28-point spread? Legitimately might have been. And I think they were up 3 or 7 at half. Fans booed them off the field.
Broncos fans are spoiled.
We are. From Aiden, can we talk about John Morton's offense balling out in Detroit? Maybe we shouldn't have let him go.
Different playmakers. Their skill positions. I mean, we're not even close to matching up with anybody that they have.
Yeah.
Also, literally no one.
You have Sean Payton. You have Joe Lombardi. You have Davis Webb. Like, you've got all these guys in the building who are offense. You weren't gonna.
I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, even if we had him, our offense would be like insanely different.
Totally. But even if you promoted him to offensive coordinator, he wouldn't have taken that job.
John?
Yeah.
You saying if we had kept him here?
Yes.
He still would have taken that job.
Yes, because he gets to call plays.
Yeah, and he also gets to call plays with those people, those guys.
Sure. Alaska Preston. Hi, RK, Benny, and Hank. Hi, Alaska Preston. Hello. We appreciate you. And the final one, fittingly, from William Cusick. Pigsby better get on bus with Vegas. I don't know. They said Pigsby, though, so I'm in. All right. That was probably our longest post-game show of the year. But we appreciate you guys for all the super chats. We appreciate everyone tuning in. And I appreciate Hank. I appreciate Benny. I appreciate Zach. I appreciate you here. I appreciate Dion. And I also appreciate Cody, who's watching.
Shout out to Cody.
Yes, sir. Cody hooked it up with gifts, like personalized gifts for all of us.
I got a picture for you real quick.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Hey.
Nice.
So Cody bought that.
Yes.
Got it signed and gifted it to a fan.
So Cody bought the hat, got it signed by Benny, gifted it to a fan. One of the highlights of the night. Another highlight of the night for me was Benny going to flip the Broncos equipment manager, getting a ball that he could give to a kid, flipped it to a kid, and I have a picture on my phone of the kid's reaction, which was just 10 out of 10, like blown away, entire year made. So that was great, Benny.
That's what it's all about, man. I was taught by Ray Jackson, who's still with the Broncos, that playing in the NFL and being on this field, you have a responsibility to inspire the next generation. So that's why I got the ball. And every game that I played in the NFL, and if I ever go onto the field before a game, I always ask for a ball, and you never know how that could change somebody's life. So we're blessed to do what we do.
Hell yeah, man. Appreciate it. It was really cool being out there on the field with you, seeing you just like get a little taste, like, you know, of the hype that you used to feel out there. It was cool.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you taking me out there. I appreciate you
Absolutely
bringing us to the game. All right, let's finally wrap it up here. Go Broncos. God bless Bo Nix. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
God bless Bo Nix.
We all silly like the mayor.